Welcome to the Vineet Loya Show. The goal of this podcast is to share the knowledge and wisdom I accumulated from various sources, such as listening to amazing podcasts, or watching creative videos, TV shows, and movies, or reading insightful books, or having meaningful conversation with people in real life. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did while creating it. Happy New Year, guys. In just few hours here, we'll be in year 12,020. And this past year has been really interesting. And I'm going to talk more about that. But before that, yes, you read it right and you heard it right. I am saying that the next year is 12,020. And this year was 12,019. And if you're confused, don't be. I posted a link in the video as well. Check out Kyrgyzast. He made amazing video on how we can change our calendar or how we think about our years. Because if you look at it, the year 2019 is based out of a specific religion, quote Christianity, right? So uh, even though most of the people in the world don't follow that religion, and likewise goes for other religions as well, because every religions have their own calendar. I know Hindu religion have its calendar, and I think we are living in 2100 something or somewhere close to that. And Islam has its own calendar, and I believe we are living in 800 or maybe 1200 um, whatever year based on that. So basically, every religion have their own calendar, and obviously 2020 or 2019 is based out of Christianity. But now that we know, or now that most of the people don't even follow that religion, it's time to move on to adapt a different calendar or different way of interpreting time. So basically, Kyrgyzstan, he created this amazing compilation of uh, what how we can change it. And to give you a very brief history, uh, around 12,000 years back, the first known human civilization was formed at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. And we found the remnants of that civilization a few years back. And it's a good tribute to human humans in general. And by just changing the calendar to 12,000 and 19 or 12,020 and living in a human era, which actually glorifies the achievement we as humans have made over past 12,000 years. Um, is it possible that human civilization was created or formed before Göbekli Tepe? It's very possible, but we don't have proofs yet. But that being said, it's still a good tribute to uh, just follow Göbekli Tepe as the first civilization and calculating our years, our existence from there. And I actually use it in my day to day life. Obviously, I don't use it in official capacity because obviously it's not adapted everywhere. So, whenever I write my journal, I write year as 12,019, 12,018, 12,017. I think I've been using it for a couple of years or so. So, personally, it's make me feel joyful because that mean I'm celebrating the human's accomplishment, which itself is uh, which itself is kind of amazing, and how I am able to live stream this sitting miles away from you. But that being said, I have noted down four different things which I want to gauge my review of this year. And uh, this year was amazing. It was a mixture of a lot of things. There were a lot of things which I planned to accomplish and fall short. There were a lot of things which I did accomplish. There were new patterns which I created with my habits and behaviors. There were old patterns which I tried to break, and still am in a process of breaking. So next year will be a reset, sort of reset. Even though I personally believe that there is no such thing as resetting based on a new year or new month or new week. You can change at any given time. But of course, this narration of resetting based on a new day, new week, new month actually does help. It helped me a lot of times, because when I noticed that I was repeating my old patterns. For an example, if I was just watching TV and movies and whatnot, then and wasted, let's just say, a week, then instead of crying over that week, I just take a step back and start afresh from next week. So the new week give an illusion of a new beginning, and that's what New Year essentially is. It's an illusion of a new beginning, and it helps a lot of people. I guess it helps them to leave their baggage in the past and move forward. So, four things which I was thinking about is one of the things which I want to leave behind with this year. Or let me start over. These are the things which I want to do in 2020. My bad. And one of the thing is to leave behind one of the pattern which is not serving me, and that pattern is wasting time. I know it's super generic and not very specific, but if I have to be very specific about it, I'm not gonna waste time watching videos and movies and TV shows which doesn't serve me in real life. I mean, honestly, there are some good shows, good things out there which actually is pretty entertaining, nevertheless, and also pretty learning. And I do want to continue to watch those, listen those, and whatnot. But at times, I just randomly start watching, you know, shows or movies which I don't even know or like. So I want to stop wasting my time and use my time in a more productive way. So the one thing which I want to leave behind is my old pattern of wasting time, and specifically wasting time watching TV shows and movies, which is not helpful or not informative. So the next thing I want to check is the one thing which I wanted to carry over to the next year, which means, like, something which I started this year and I want to continue to do that next year. And by far, it's it's a meditation. The thing which I'm doing right now, which is live stream, have and then do an hour of meditation. So this is something I want to and I will continue in the year 2020. The third thing is one thing which I want to accomplish in the next year. And the first thing which popped up in my mind was to to actually go on a stand-up tour. I want to tour to different venues and perform at different venues, hopefully different cities and even different regions, and gain more traction, get better at performing, learn more about the craft of public speaking in general and stand-up comedy, and interact with the people, interact with other comedians, and people at other networking events in general. But I do want to do a stand-up comedy tour. So that's the one thing I want to accomplish in next year. And finally, the one thing I am grateful for. This is kind of tough because I'm grateful for a lot of things happening in my life. I'm grateful for the place I'm living in. I'm grateful for the opportunities I have, or I had in the past too. And I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for technology, which is making it possible for me to just sit back at home and live stream it to the world. I am grateful for a lot of things. Um, Specifically, I'm grateful for all the opportunities I got this year, um, whether it's in turn of performing as a stand-up comedian at different venues, or if it was learning from other people when I do Aikido, or when I train in archery, or any other sport. I'm grateful for the opportunity within the podcasting and the live streaming option, because uh, uh, back in 2018, I was living with my roommates, old roommates now, and the place was always filled with music and fun and whatnot, but that also means that I couldn't live stream, I couldn't record my podcast, or couldn't meditate either. And earlier this year, I moved to a different place, and ever since I started meditating and live streaming it, obviously. So uh, that's an opportunity I gained this year, and I'm super grateful for everything which came on my path. Now, I want to ask you these four questions. What is one thing which you want to leave behind in 2019? What is one thing which you want to accomplish in 2020? What is one thing which you are grateful for um, at the moment? And what is one thing which you want to carry forward in next year? And just a bonus, what is one thing which you want to start in next year? If there is any new hobby, new goal, new skill set you want to learn, what is it that you want to start in 2020? So these are the five things now. And um, and and I hope that you have like amazing celebrations welcoming the new year, and continue walking on this path. And that being said, I am gonna meditate for an hour, and I will be using Vipassana technique, which is very interesting, amazing technique, and simplest, a very simple technique as well, because all you need to do is just sit with your eyes closed and focus on your breath, and then focus on the body sensations. Last year in 2018, that is, I went to a 10-day meditation retreat where I understand, or where I, in a way, like, learned the basics of Vipassana. And uh, I would encourage any one of you who wanted to take a challenge for next year, who want to learn something new for next year, look up for dhamma.org. They host different retreats, and it's all free of cost. So basically, you are going to spend 10 days in a secluded place uh, with a lot of other amazing people, and your accommodation is taken care of, your food is taken care of, you have a fixed schedule, and you have very peaceful environment. And once you are there, you can meditate for 10 days, and could be from anywhere from 8 to 11 hours a day, which I know could be intense for a lot of people. It was intense for me when I did as well. First couple days, or first 5 6 days in fact, were very painful. And I still remember a lot of times while meditating, I go on these different imagination journeys, so to speak, where, just ponder on what's going on, ruminate on, my past decisions, or things which I haven't accomplished or done. And that take away a lot of meditative time, so to speak. But still, keeping your eyes closed for an hour is a big accomplishment, trust me. And especially doing it consciously. I mean, we close our eyes every single night and go into the slender, but it's very rare that people, sit down with their eyes closed and consciously paying attention to either their breath or mantra or whatever meditation technique they are following, like transcendental meditation is another example. So I would encourage any one of you who's watching, if you're still watching for it, that is, to take up this challenge and go for a retreat. The Dhamma organization is spread across the globe, so find a retreat center closest to you and book it. And trust me, it's very difficult to even get a spot on these retreats because they fill up very, very quickly. So you have to be very vigilant and actively probably like keep on looking at the website, or just notify yourself, set a notification, and on the day they open the registration, go in there and book a spot for 10 days. At least book it, and then you still have like 2 or 3 months to decide if you want to cancel and release your spot. So I would encourage you to, I would challenge you, in fact, to book a spot in a 10-day meditation, and then go and come back out of it, and let's have a conversation. How was your meditation retreat, and what were the insights you gained from spending 10 days in seclusion and without talking to anyone, and just fixated in some sense within your thoughts, within your emotions, dealing with your life so far, and what you want to accomplish in the future ahead. So it will be an amazing experience. And if you can't, or won't rather, then I have another solution for you. Just keep on watching my videos, and hopefully this will inspire you to at least start this meditative practice. And even if it's for 15 minutes a day, it's somewhere to start from. And hopefully that will also enhance your senses, and you can observe the changes within your life. The 15 minutes of meditation every single day consistently doing can actually change your life in one step at a time. And that's what life all is about, right? Like you look forward to anything one day at a time, or one moment at a time, and change happens with one factor at a time, like one moment at a time, one day at a time, one action at a time, one step at a time. So it's all about taking those minute steps and creating something big. So like the saying goes, if you walk 1 mile a day, then a year from today you will be 360. You have walked 365 miles, or 366 if it's a leap year. But do that, like, start somewhere, do something very simple, and create this new pattern, a new pattern of change, which is serving you, not just repeating and being trapped in the old patterns which you've been either trained or learned or grown up into. Life is not just living what what you know so far. Life is about exploring what you don't know, about checking out what this unknown is, and learning something new every single day. And that's what makes life beautiful and more livable. To be honest, that's what I aspire to do, and I'm not there yet, but soon enough. I know in my gut that I will be there very soon.
Thanks for listening. I hope you find our one-sided conversation valuable. Kindly share it with people in your life. I would love to hear back from you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Vineet Loya. Also check out my website vineetloya.com. Enjoy rest of your day and stay peaceful.